Hi, good morning. I don't usually record myself on camera, but I'd like to have a conversation and I want to invite a discussion, find the right people to connect with. I'm going to talk about financial forecasting and tuning in at this level of budget analysis, economics in the US. I'm going to talk about some really specific mathematical and machine learning research, data science applied to game theory, poker theory, group theory, economic, systemic risk, and alleviating that across both academic and industry, and in industry, specifically across electricity markets, but also applied to things like Social Security. When we look at and data science or big tech data centers and managing the power requirements of this, So, yeah, I'm a little camera shy, so I don't usually come on the camera, but this is important, and I'd like to connect and talk in with the right people. So I'm kind of on another wavelength over here, and I'm basically reading this paper from a friend of mine from college, who did her doctorate in financial theory, and we were both math majors, so we did our undergraduate together in math, and then she did her doctorate in this on finance. And we worked together in a software engineering type role, data science analyst type role, where we worked on power plant automation. And so some really gamified computer science topics that I'd like to talk about. I really desire to connect him with the right people. On a public channel is also a little odd, but this does affect the whole public. And I'd like to bring into awareness these leaders. If we can coordinate a conversation and the front-facing, more like political leadership of, we've got the math majors like me, the actual programmers writing code, who are writing in Java code or Bash shell scripting or Python or whatever, and we're writing scripts that automate to tell power plants when to turn on and off. We've got combustion turbines and coal power plants and hydro and solar and all these things. And then over here, we've got Democrats or angry at the Nazis, fascists, bombing the Tesla dealership type people who are causing chaos in the system across more than what we've already got. So this is like emergency electronic arc. We need to be talking about systemic risk and more rapidly increasing the learning of the patterns of this. And specifically, I'd like to talk about to educate the public in a series of specific way, like orchestrate a conversation where we bring facts into the conversation and say, look, this affects everybody. We understand you're mad at Elon, but this is going to harm everyone. And more than this, also we have Doge security, Social Security going on over here. When we look at the data science of keeping those data centers from, say, burning down because they're getting into weird loops and patterns in financial transactions or registers or race conditions or things like this, where wires are getting heated up and the data centers are going on fire, or data isn't transferring correctly, or it's being overwritten. All these sorts of issues can cause a lot of problems. And this is obviously not something that I speak out in public about, but they have asked me to return into more of a stage speaking position. So this is literally my first go in my room, filming myself speaking. No filters, no, big production. But I'm trying to get my game face back on, because they've asked me to look at a principal data scientist position for this electrical engineering. So I want to tune in with the right people. So this is just a broad call. I'm going to post this on my YouTube, and then probably run some machine learning on it, or I'm going to go through and look at my communication style, and your feedback is welcome. I've been in many countries, and I'm recalibrating to American English. And so, as we're looking at some of these risks, reducing fraud, reducing waste, reducing abuse, things like this, we're also having to maintain legacy systems such as script automation for power plants, which are now going to need to be updated because some stuff is burned down and things like that. So yeah, y'all, I need to tune in over here. And so in terms of game theory and poker theory, statistics, I want to look at sort of hybridizing the knowledge or getting the generative AI or even the art working across, or not so much generative. Let me pause that. There's a little bit of generative on image, but before stepping into the generative image, I want to see and hear querying AI, where they're asking intelligent questions, Internet Jeopardy, but pulling the right data queries together. So I want to see an improvement on this before the generations are made, but there might have to be a few first gens. But so what I want to get to talking is the card theory, so the poker theory. We're talking about prop shop like SIG, Susquehanna International Group, game theory, poker theory, finance, economics, statistics, risk, systemic risk, looking at patterns in poker, looking at patterns in card games and table games. I bring up the mystical or the magical aspects of something like tarot or oracle cards, which might be taboo in some cultures, but is actually legit. And if we look at, and whether or not you agree with that statement is one thing, but I'm going to go there. So that may filter some folks out. But as we look at hybridized AI and, say, psychology at scale, or police forces, jujitsus, folks who have to control a room, crowd control, herd management, psychology of airports, playing classical music, y'all, it's all just a symphony score, but getting these patterns to work together, because there's just too much disharmony, and chaos in the system. And I think that I'm trying to put this into layman's terms, but also cue trigger words to pull out the right people to look at and talk to me. So I can acknowledge that I might be able to improve my communication style. Nice, gentle feedback is welcome, even if it's critical. But I haven't spoken openly about this, and I am having concern. So, yeah, I want to connect with the right folks and just put some of these math skills to use. I want to talk about the poker theory and the game theory and identifying patterns. So I found a meme, and I haven't figured out how to video record my screen as I don't know how to set up my presentation. So if somebody who does a podcast wants to guide me there, that would be really helpful. But public speaking is a skill I have to improve upon. But so I found a meme, right? And I was going to show you, but I honestly don't even know how to I'm there. Like, that's where I'm, like, this is not my setup. I'm on a Mac now, which is super weird. So I can't find anything, and search doesn't work, and I'm just looking at this garbage AI going, this is unacceptable. And I just, like, having a hard time with that regulating. So I found a meme that I was going to share with you that talks about poker. And it's something like, because what are we doing? We're all on Twitter, we're all on X, we're sharing memes and just little bites of art. But if we take the Seshat, like, you have Thoth, the Egyptian god of writing, you have the female version of that who's called Seshat. She's more like the space around the words on the paper, or the symphony, the orchestra, the actual theater that contains the thing. So when you think about this, I'm tuning in on acoustics, y'all. I'm talking about acoustics and harmony in optics and HVAC, mechanical engineering, industrial tuning and optimization strategies, risk management through structured portfolio protocols, aviation safety, industrial excellence, things like this. Keywords, target, smash. I just feel like I'm speaking gibberish, but you got to talk to a machine, and it's different than in English. So let's work on this machine learning of language. But anyway, so the poker thing, it was like, what do you do in this scenario? Like, I have this set of cards. You know, do you fold? Do you do this? Do you do that? Teaching poker. The same thing applies in tarot or in oracle, but it's just aimed at You can go into inner themes, you can look at emotional stuff, you can look at emotional risk management, and I'm talking about we can achieve systemic risk reduction through intelligent applied emotional arts and psychology through this cryptic mind reading, we'll just call it of that, of the so-called mystical tarot card. It's nothing more than poker with extra art and then applied in the psychology realm. Like, what's so hard about this, people? Why are we fighting about this? Like, so, yeah, to me it's just math, but apparently it's very offensive to some. So, yeah, if you want to talk to me about this, give me a hoot.